Would you all please stand for the prayer and pledge? Ms. Karen.
Loving and gracious God, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts. We thank you today for blessing us and having a successful meeting. Please protect our superintendent, staff members, teachers, and also support members. As we transition to a new security company, please protect our kids. God, I also ask you, please help and protect everybody from the weather, so we don't have any incidents as last year, and have 5 more months, and school will be over. Please also give teachers wisdom to teach our kids. Please, Lord, give us the wisdom to also serve the community and our teachers and staff. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. I'm sorry.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Van Needham, roll call.
Yes, sir. Ms. Ayo.
Present.
Mr. Baumgartner.
Here.
Mr. Grove.
Here.
Mr. Castillo.
Here.
Ms. Fontenot.
Here.
Ms. Gay.
Here.
Mr. Hardesty.
Here.
Ms. Hardy McReynolds.
Here.
Mr. Natale.
Here.
Mr. O'Banion.
Here.
Mr. Pichon.
Here.
Mr. Roberts.
Here.
Mr. Tarver. Reverend Wallace.
Here.
Dr. Washington.
Present.
You have the floor.
All right, thank you, Dr. Van Meter. Before we get started on tonight, I just wanted to take the time to honor and give honor where honor is due to our previous president of 2024, Mr. Eric Tarver. This says, Eric Tarver, in appreciation for your service as president of the Calhoun School Board 2024. And so we're grateful for his service. We're grateful for his leadership and the time that he took to guide this board through 2024. So thank you very much, and we'll make sure that he gets this. We can give a round of applause. All right, presentations. A by Mr. Milken Award winner, Mr. Kyle Cook. Yes, we do need that. Approval of minutes from the December 10th, 2024 meeting. All right, it was moved by Mr. Russell Castile, seconded by Mr. O'Banion. All in favor? Ayes have it. All right, number 4, presentations.
Yes, sir. That would be Ms. Oakland, principal at Maplewood Middle School.
I'm sure you guys heard about the exciting events we had last month. We kind of had a sneak attack of the superintendent for the state was supposed to come in and do a presentation. And when he gets there to the school, we find out he's got an honored guest that's really there to be the presenter. And the presenter turns out to be Mr. Lowell Milken himself. I don't know if everyone's aware of it, but Milken Award is probably the most prestigious award that an educator can win. You're not nominated for the award. I think there must be these secret ninjas that are out there looking for these outstanding educators. But in real life, there's blue ribbon committees for each state that kind of give the Milken people an idea of who to look at. And so while we were there in this assembly, it became very obvious that someone on the Maplewood staff is going to win. And we're very excited that Mr. Kyle Cook was the winner of the Milken Award. Not only is he now a nationally recognized educator, he got to take home $25,000 with it too. But with that too, that all was on the news, but what I really wanted to let you know is why Kyle was chosen for this award. I really think that there must be some sort of a clone machine out in the band hall because this man is everywhere. Not only do we have just a tremendous program as far as the band program at Maplewood, but once you're in Kyle's band, it's like a membership for life. Because honestly, a kid comes in, he's in the band in the middle school, and Mr. Cook is there leading him, and then he gets to Sulphur High, and guess what? Mr. Cook is still there helping him. He goes to McNeese, and Mr. Cook is still there. This man volunteers all over the place. But speaking of McNeese too, currently we have a partnership with McNeese. I would say probably every music educator comes at some point from McNeese to study under Mr. Kyle. We set up our schedule so they can learn how to teach music. But more importantly than that, it's not just the music side of it and the volunteering. And speaking of the music too, it's the community issue as well. He's a member of the Music Makers to You, where they take refurbished instruments of things that people have turned in so that kids can have instruments to play. He's also started our local it's the all-city jazz for middle schools. So basically the 3 middle schools in Sulphur, the kids try out to make the all-city jazz, and they get to play with Sulphur High when they have their jazz festival. He also mentors teachers. I think this is the one I know of that McNeese called Miss Spann and said, please make sure this guy has his credentials, because we send someone every single semester and we need him to be credentialed when the state came out with the new mentor credentials. He's also mentored teachers that are not in the music field as well. And at Maplewood Middle, it is a staple. If we have any residents or new teachers come on campus, they will always have a learning walk to Mr. Cook's class. So with that said, the ninja's got the right guy. He's not only just a wonderful educator, he does so much for our profession. And so the district would like to recognize you, Mr. Cook, as not only a Milken Award winner, but all for what you do for Calhoun Parish.
All right, congratulations again, Mr. Cook. Thank you for all of your service, hard work, and just your commitment to this system. We really appreciate it in our students. Thank you. All right, number 5, the superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. Hey, before I start, I would also like to say, today is officially Kyle Cook Day in the city of Sulphur. He was honored at the city council yesterday. Pretty big to have your own day.
So do we all get steaks?
I'm sorry, I forgot to add too, that this month he's actually being also honored as our state jazz educator for the state of Louisiana.
So proud to have him with our kids, and proud to have my own son under his tutelage through Sulphur High as well. He's really an asset. So proud of him. You do have your Head Start report for program governance. Our policy council orientation was held on December 11th, 2024. The following topics were approved. Minutes from the November 18th, 2024 meeting, December director's report, December financial and attendance report, Head Start application for carryover funds. For program operations, policy council members and Head Start social workers traveled to San Diego for the annual Head Start Parent and Family Engagement Conference. Brenda Hunter Head Start received the Branch Out and Grow grant in the amount of $2,500. You have each received the school population report for December, reflecting the numbers from December 1 to December 31st. I would like to report our December 2024 sales tax numbers for our general fund, which show collections of $1,226,642, or 8.5% above budget for the 6th month of the 24-25 fiscal year. Collections are $779,633, or 5.2% above collections for the same month last year. After 6 months, collections were $3,393,215, or 3.8% above budget, and $437,293, or 0.5% above budget for the same period last year. Hurricane information was included in your packet. It is a requirement that I report, and as it is in the minutes, that the following board members have earned at least the required 6 hours for continuing education for 2024. Aaron Natale, Karen Hardy McReynolds, Glenda Gay, Mary Fontenot, Patrick Pichon, Dean Roberts, Dr. Betty Washington, Damon Hardesty, Tony O'Banion, Phyllis Ayo, Russell Castile, Billy Rowe, Reverend Desmond Wallace, Sean Baumgarten. I received a report from Mr. Steve Eck and Mr. Jim Meyer. They are the co-chairpersons of the Kiwanis Club of Lake Charles Coats for Kids project. We received donations of 2,790 coats, consisting of some 160 new coats and 2,630 used coats that were cleaned and hung for free by Runty Lake Cleaners. We want to thank the Kiwanis Club for doing this, especially this time of year. What happened last week in terms of weather and cold weather we see coming up, it's really important for our kids, and we really thank them. The new coats were retained by Dewanis Closet for distribution, and the used coats will be delivered to the 15 local agencies that serve the needy and homeless. The coat collection could not have been possible without the superb effort of all those schools that participated in this community project. We want to thank all the schools, as well as a special thanks to the Kiwanis Club of Lake Charles and Runty Lake Cleaners for what they do for the people in need. The EKP Elementary School was named the ITEEA STEM School of Excellence. This is actually the 3rd year in a row that EKP has been awarded this. It's a very prestigious distinction, and we just wanted to congratulate the super and her staff. We had 2 of your district students of the year that were actually named Regional Student of the Year nominees, or honorees. Congratulations to Oliver Paul Richard of T.S. Cooley and Emma Grace Vinson of Westlake High School. Congratulations also goes to Armand Wilson of Washington Marion High School. You remember earlier we honored Armand as the state representative for 4-H. This past week he was actually named to a national conference delegate for 4-H and will represent Louisiana and Calcasieu Parish in Washington, D.C. CSRS is continuing to prepare the RFP for HVAC. We met with CSRS this past week and received an update on the progress. And this month, they're continuing to meet with service providers as well as meeting with additional large school districts. January is School Board Appreciation Month. So we would like to thank you for your service to our students and employees in Calcasieu Parish School System. And we'd also like to recognize our Bessie representative, Ms. Bergen, is here with us as well. So this concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right, item number 6, executive session in reference to claim 4A22020807W002. I need a motion. So moved. All right. It was moved by Mr. Hardesty and seconded by Mr. Bro to go into executive session. All in favor? Aye.
That's a good thing.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting back to order. I needed a motion to return from executive session. All right, it was moved by Mr. Brewer and seconded by Dr. Washington. To return, all in favor? Aye. All right. Item number 7, take appropriate action on executive session. Claim for A220208070W0002. All right, it was moved to accept the recommendation made in executive session by Mr. Hardesty and seconded by Mr. Baumgarten. All in favor? Aye. Any nays?
Nay.
There were 2 nays. Who were the nays? Right? All right. Yeah. All right. All right, next on the item, number 8 on the agenda, number 8, committee reports. Guess what? There are none. Number 9, take appropriate action. I'm gonna ask if we can motion A through H, and we'll vote on each item individually as,
Second.
all right. So if it was moved on a motion on item A through H by Mr. Burrow and seconded by Dr. Washington. All right. A. All right, authorize the superintendent to contract with Allied for school security services for the remainder of the school year according to the terms and compensation for the former contract with Strategos, subject to council approval.
Yes, sir. So with the recent bankruptcy of Strategos, we're currently covering security at our schools temporarily with an increased presence of law enforcement agencies. And I would like to officially thank all the law enforcement agencies in the area, the sheriff's office, the marshal's office, all the local municipalities, police forces have really come through for us. And there's been a big increased presence at our schools, and we really appreciate that. Allied Security came in second in the RFP process, and when Strategos was originally chosen. And Allied has agreed to provide security at our schools at the same terms, cost, et cetera, that Strategos had provided for us until the end of the 24-25 school year. And during that time, staff can re-advertise for an RFP for security services for the 25-26 school year and beyond. And so staff recommends entering into a contract with Allied Security until the end of the 24-25 school year. Additionally, staff recommends seeking RFPs for security for the 25-26 school year and beyond.
How long before they are able to staff up?
That's a good question. So I've been in contact with Mr. Quick for ever since this process has started. They have already started, since I sent a letter basically asking them to do this and told them that I was going to be coming to y'all tonight. They have already started the staffing process. From what I'm being told, they should be possibly ready to go by the beginning of next week. So they're going to be hiring as many of our existing Strategos officers as they can, so that we can have, in many cases, some of the same officers on our campuses that have relationships with our kids and our faculty and our staff.
All right. Ms. Gay?
Yes, Dr. Van Meter, so we're going to be receiving the same coverage that we had with the other company?
Yes, ma'am.
All of the same schools?
Yes, ma'am.
We continue to be using local law enforcement, or they're just filling in until
No.
we can get back on?
They're filling in until Allied would be able to take over. But one of the things that we did talk to the law enforcement folks about when we had them in on the Monday morning, so this happened on a Friday. Everybody was in here. When we called the meeting, everybody showed up Monday morning. One of the things we talked about was, although this is not necessarily something that we would want, right, to have happen, maybe a silver lining that comes out of this is, an increased presence in our schools is something that everybody enjoys. And that's one of the things that we found from our schools so far this year is they love that increased presence of law enforcement. So when all this is over, we're going to encourage them to do that.
Okay.
Still come visit, but we will have Allied just like we have Strategos.
Okay. You answered it in the end when you said they will still be encouraged to show up
Yes, ma'am.
and be visible.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to Allied.
We love it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Roberts?
Thank you. So as far as assuming the same contract, same vetting when it comes to the personnel?
Yes, sir. They still have to do.
Same qualifications of carrying guns, all the same things?
Yes, sir.
Not gonna be any gaps that would let some wacko slip in? That's what I want to make sure that.
Yes, sir.
That we're.
They're-
do the same.
Allied's a very large company and they have a very good vetting process. And even within our schools, there are some schools, for example, at our early child care centers that have to have additional screenings and everything. They've got all that.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor of item A, or to authorize the superintendent to go into contract with Allied for the remainder of the school year according to the terms of the contract with Strategos? Say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Ayes have it. B, authorize the superintendent to enter into cooperative endeavor agreement with McNeese State University for diagnostic and repair services of the university musical instruments by the Couch Springer School.
Yeah, so this,
Department of Visual and Performing Arts.
this is something that we actually are bringing to you to enter into an agreement with McNeese to help basically keep providing something for our kids that we really like during ESSER. So one of the things that we used during ESSER with ESSER funds was to pay for kids to go to camps at McNeese in the summer and band camps. It's very expensive and we can't afford to do that, you know, just outright. So Mr. McCardle proposes to basically work with McNeese and use some of the services that we already have in terms of providing instrument repair and things like that, and have that go towards credit for kids to be able to go to summer camps. So this is a way to basically help offset some of the losses that we're having from ESSER. We've talked before about having those budget crises. This is the visual performing arts being very innovative in terms of how they go through and replace those.
All in favor of B? All right. Any nays? All right. Motion carries. The ayes have it. C, approval of renewal athletic training services contract at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital as amended through July 31st, 2029.
So we do 4-year contracts that are in July with Lake Charles Memorial Hospital and have for years, for I'm going to go ahead and say decades. They cover all the training services at our schools. They do an absolutely fantastic job, and they do it all for free. So we don't really pay anything. Over the past several years, over the past 4 years with this past contract, the amount of cost for them to pay their employees has gone up substantially, about 33%, so about a third. They're not asking to increase anything in terms of, you know, have us pay anything for that, but what they are asking for us to do is to pay for 2 additional trainers. So we would actually pay for 2 trainers in this contract, and what it would cover is those folks would allow for additional coverage in our schools. So we would be able to provide additional coverage for those of you who know anything about the job at Lake Charles Memorial Hospital and the athletic training facility. What they do with our kids, it's substantial. And so that's what they're asking for. It would be a renewal of the contract. They're asking to renew a little bit earlier than July so that they can find the staff when we're talking about finding new staff members. So we would normally renew this in February-ish, March-ish, but they're asking to do it now. So if we're adding 2 people, they're like everybody else. They got to go find those 2 people. So that's where we are. So we're asking for you to approve this extension.
All right, Mr. Brogan.
Real quick, I'm gonna vote for this, but y'all do a phenomenal job. I mean, I go to a lot of these events and every time which never happens. Something does happen. I've had multiple people come up and say it's nice that they do that, that they're there, the professionalism and all that. So it kudos.
Mr. Pichon.
Yeah, I want to echo that too. I work with Washington Area Soccer a lot. I actually ran into Big A the other day. He was helping out the other day, so I appreciate everything they do. It was cold out. He was out there with a little heater, but you know he was out there helping everybody. So I appreciate it.
And they're doing all this right now for free. It doesn't cost us anything. The additional cost or the cost that we would incur here would actually go for 2 additional trainers. So the coverage that we have now would actually increase.
All right, we're definitely grateful for it. We definitely appreciate the services because being the father of athletes, I know the benefit of it. So thank you very much. All right, all in
I have a
favor?
question.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Gay.
I'm still a little confused on, I'm fine with 2 additional trainers, but what is our decision? What does our decision have to make? They don't charge us anything. We're not paying them anything.
We would pay for those 2 additional
Okay,
trainers.
okay, that's
Yes,
the part.
Yes,
that I missed. Okay. And do we know what that fee, what range that fee would be in since we haven't been paying anything?
Yes, ma'am. So they gave us that cost. It's $5,833 per month for each additional trainer. Give or take about 70 grand a year.
70 grand? Okay, will we be paying that to them, or will we be paying it to Memorial and they?
That
pay
it's
They will-
their employees, so we would actually bill Memorial Hospital.
Okay,
They're not our employees.
okay.
All right. Any other questions? All right, all in favor of item C to approval of renewal athletic training services contract with Lake Charles Memorial Hospital as amended through July 31st, 2029. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. I have D, approval to designate bank authorization authority.
So we just have to approve First Horizon Bank. They requested the attached resolution to be approved by the board to designate the authority to sign the account.
All in favor, of any questions? Anyone have any questions? All right. All in favor for D, approval to designate bank authorization authority, say aye. Any nays? Motion carries. Ayes have it. E, approval for energy right-of-way at Washington Marion.
This is just a right of way for energy to place equipment at Washington.
All right, any questions? All in favor, say aye. Any nays? Motion carries.
Did we have a motion? Okay. Oh, that at the beginning, you're right. Sorry.
Letter F, approval for cooperative endeavor agreement between CPSB and STEM Education LLC, wording subject to council approval.
So this is with STEM Education LLC. It's a company that basically would house equipment at Region 5 STEM Center, LCD, and basically what they would be able to do is in exchange for being able to store that equipment there, they would provide PD for our teachers. No money's changing hands on the storage of the equipment, nor would money change hands on the PD. We would basically swap services.
Any questions? All right, all in favor of F, approval of cooperative endeavor agreement between CPSB, STEM Education LLC, wording subject to council approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. Ayes have it. Letter G, approval of process verbal promulgating the election results from December 7th, 2024. All in favor? Any nays? Motion carries. Letter H, approval of cooperative agreement between CPSB and CPBJ, our community center and playground, district number 5 of Ward 5.
So this is for Starks High School to be able to utilize the community center and playground in Ward 5. Basically an agreement between us and the police jury for baseball and softball games. We've used this for years and I don't think anything has been in place. So this is basically to just put something officially in place with them so that we can utilize those facilities.
All right. All in favor of H, approval of cooperative agreement, say aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. All right. All right. It was moved by Mr. Burrows, seconded by Mr. Castile. Number 10A says food service permission to advertise to bid cafeteria tables and large equipment funded by school nutrition program. All in favor? Say aye. Any nays? Motion carries. Ayes have it. No bid reports. Ratification, no bid reports. Correspondence.
Move on A.
All right. Moved by Mr. Burrows, seconded by Mr. Hardesty. A. Okay, all right. A, change order for the project, new 2-story classroom building, Maplewood Middle and Elementary Schools, funding 2019 bond issue improvements, project EA 2020-03, Ellender Architects and Associates, Architects Pat Williams Construction LLC, contractor, increase of $34,278 and increase of 5 days. Mr. Burrows.
What is that for? Actually, where the two buildings are connecting, rebuilding, where the new building's needing the old building. There was an AC unit that was there, and they were gonna have to redo, fix. It was gonna cost $50,000-$60,000, and we decided to go with a new unit and put it outside. We're saving roughly $20,000 on this one. So it was a good move to get that out of there, it's older team, so that's what
All in favor? Any nays? Ayes have it, motion carried. Number 14, condolences and recognitions. We'll start on my right with Ms. Ayo, starting with the A.
Have a, can you hear me? I can speak up. I'd like to recognize Stacy Hill. She was awarded the Wellness Award. She was kind of overseeing and spearheaded that program. And I think Holly did a great job of recognizing her on Facebook. Also have, Teacher Caitlin Artwan, who lost her great-grandfather. A teacher at Denton High School, Miss Jean Lejeune, who lost her spouse, Cullen Lejeune. I believe that's it.
Mr. Pishon?
None.
Dr. Washington?
I'd like a letter of condolence sent to the wife of one of our paraprofessionals. He was currently working at Positive Connections. His name is Boyce Van Harlan Jr. And I'd just like to say, quote Mr. Pishon, he was a good man. He prayed for our schools, he prayed for our faculty, he prayed for our children. He turned so many children around and put them on the right, helped them move to the right path. I can't say enough about his talents, and he will truly be missed.
Mr. Grove? Mr. Roberts? Ms. McReynolds?
I have condolences for Nikki Mason. Her mom passed, Julia Mason Celestine. And that's it.
Mr. McCallum? And if you don't mind, you can add me to Mr. Harlan and Ms. Mason's. All right? Mr. Hardesty, all right? Mr. Cassidy, Ms. Fontenot, Mr. Mumgarden? All right. So thank you.
One for the family of Ms. Gabe Rainwater. She's a former teacher. She passed away.
Mrs. Gay? All right. Item number 15, scheduled committee meetings. We have a C&I committee meeting scheduled for January 28, 2025 at 5 p.m. And this will be the superintendent and the superintendent's evaluation instrument committee will follow. Also, the employee benefits committee will meet on February 25th, 2025 at 5 p.m. as well as the budget and fiscal management committee meeting will follow. Yes, sir.
Can we move that benefits committee till, what's the latest we can have it? I'm actually gonna be out of the country, and I'll miss
we're running, we're running into renewals, so it's gonna be kind of tough. Can you meet on a different night that week, maybe?
what about the week before? Like the,
Earlier is better.
what about maybe the 8th, 17th or 18th? That's a Monday or Tuesday.
The week before.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it on the Tuesday, the 18th.
That should work.
Okay. Doesn't make that happen.
All right, so what day is it? Employee benefits committee, February 1.
Tentative for the 18th.
Okay, tentative for the 18th, but we'll be notified appropriately. Okay. All right, so that meeting time will be adjusted. Okay. The A&P committee meeting, March 25th, 2025 at 5 p.m., as well as followed by the budget and fiscal management committee meeting. And the A&P committee, April 29th, 2025, 5 p.m. All right, I need a motion to adjourn. So moved. All right, moved by Mr. Hardesty and seconded by Ms. Fontenot. All in favor? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.